soft tapping, gentle whispers, the slow sound of pages turning or fingers brushing across fabric. For some people, these sounds are oddly comforting. They relax the body, quiet the mind, and create a sense of calm that feels almost automatic. To outsiders, it can seem puzzling. Why would someone intentionally listen to whispering? Why does a microphone brushing sound soothing instead of irritating? But this response isn't random. It isn't about trend following or internet habits. There is a deeper psychology behind why certain individuals are drawn to ASMR and why it works so powerfully for them. Understanding this reveals something important about emotional regulation, sensitivity, memory, and the human need for safety. This is the psychology of people who love ASMR. One common profile is the nervous system regulator. These individuals often carry high mental load throughout the day. Not always visibly stressed, but internally alert. Their minds stay active long after external demands have ended. ASMR functions as a gentle signal to the nervous system that it is safe to slow down. The repetitive sounds, predictable pacing, and soft tones activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for rest and recovery. Unlike music, which can stir emotion, or silence, which can allow intrusive thoughts, ASMR offers controlled stimulation. It occupies just enough mental space to prevent overthinking while remaining calm enough to avoid excitement. For this type, ASMR is less about pleasure and more about regulation. It becomes a bridge between alertness and rest. Many in this group discover ASMR accidentally while searching for sleep aids, focus tools, or relaxation techniques. Once discovered, it often becomes a consistent nightly ritual. Not because of dependency, but because it works. Then there is the emotionally attuned listener. These individuals tend to be highly sensitive to tone, texture, and emotional atmosphere. They notice subtleties others overlook, changes in voice, pauses in speech, shifts in energy. ASMR provides a sensory experience that aligns perfectly with this sensitivity. Soft sounds are not background noise. They are information. They feel intentional, careful, and intimate. Psychologically, this group often scores high in empathy and emotional awareness. Their brains are particularly responsive to cues associated with care and gentleness. Whispering, slow movements, and focused attention can unconsciously resemble moments of personal care, like being comforted, reassured, or guided calmly. Importantly, this is not about loneliness. It is about resonance. ASMR mirrors emotional environments that feel safe, attentive, and non-threatening, environments this group naturally values. Another profile is rooted in memory and familiarity. For some individuals, ASMR triggers sensations tied to early experiences, moments of quiet attention, calm routines, or gentle supervision. The sound of writing, page turning, or soft instruction can echo childhood environments. A teacher explaining patiently. A parent preparing something quietly nearby. A calm room where nothing was demanded. The brain associates these sounds with safety and predictability. Neuroscience shows that the brain does not sharply separate present sensory input from past emotional context. When similar stimuli appear, the emotional response can resurface, even without conscious memory. For this group, ASMR creates a subtle sense of being looked after without interaction or obligation. It is passive comfort, and that distinction matters. Then there are those who use ASMR for focus rather than relaxation. These individuals often struggle with silence. Complete quiet allows the mind to wander, spiral, or fragment. ASMR offers structured background input, consistent, slow, and non-intrusive. Unlike podcasts or conversations, it does not demand comprehension. Unlike music, it does not shift mood dramatically. It becomes a cognitive anchor. Psychologically, this aligns with people who benefit from low-level sensory engagement to stabilize attention. Their focus improves when the environment feels softly occupied. ASMR becomes a tool, not entertainment. It is used during work, study, or creative tasks as a way to maintain mental balance. There is also a group drawn to the controlled intimacy ASMR provides. Modern social environments can feel overwhelming. Interaction requires performance, response, and emotional labor. ASMR offers presence without pressure. The speaker addresses the camera calmly, attentively, without expecting anything in return. There is no need to reply, interpret, or manage social cues. For some individuals, especially those sensitive to overstimulation, this format feels restorative rather than isolating. It provides the sensation of attention without the demands of interaction. Psychologically, this reflects a desire for connection that is calm, predictable, and emotionally safe. Not avoidance, but selectivity. A common misconception is that ASMR is about escapism. In reality, most ASMR listeners are not avoiding reality. They are managing it. They understand their internal rhythms. They recognize when their minds need softness rather than stimulation. ASMR works because it respects those needs. It slows time, reduces urgency, and replaces chaos with consistency. From a psychological perspective, this shows emotional intelligence, not weakness. Another important aspect is control. ASMR content is chosen intentionally. The sounds, the pacing, the duration. Listeners decide when it starts and ends. This sense of control can be deeply soothing, especially for individuals whose days involve unpredictability or external demands. The brain responds positively to environments it can anticipate. ASMR creates a controlled sensory world, one that feels stable and reliable. Not everyone experiences ASMR, and that matters too. The absence of response does not indicate emotional limitation, only difference. ASMR listeners tend to have heightened sensory emotional integration. Their brains connect sensation with emotional meaning more readily. This is neither better nor worse, just different. So what does loving ASMR actually say about a person? Often, it reflects a nervous system that values calm over intensity, a mind that responds to gentleness, an emotional world that prioritizes safety, regulation, and subtle connection. It suggests awareness, not fragility. In a loud, fast, demanding world, choosing quiet stimulation is not withdrawal. It is adaptation. Some people relax through action, others through silence, and some through soft, intentional sound. None are accidental. They are responses to how the brain has learned to feel safe. So the next time ASMR appears on a screen or someone mentions they listen to it regularly, it may help to see it differently. Not as a strange habit, not as a trend, but as a psychological preference rooted in how certain minds process comfort, attention, and calm. And perhaps the more interesting question isn't why some people love ASMR, but what that reveals about how humans seek peace in different ways. Which profile resonates most strongly? How does this perspective change the way ASMR is understood? Those reflections often say more than the sounds themselves.